good condition? Well, my name is Dina Karisma Dewi. You can call me Dina. I'm a student from English Language Education at Ganesha University. In this video, I would like to tell and explain you about my teaching activity using one of the common method named task-based language teaching method. I would like to elaborate this method used to teach for the grade in senior high schools. But first of all, I would like to tell the concept of task-based language method first by explaining about the definition, the characteristic, and also the stages that include in this method. Task-based language teaching method, also known as the TBL method, is the kind of method used in teaching English as a foreign language. According to Soleh 2020, TBL is the method which leads the students to learn the language with the real-life topic, which can encourage students' communication skill. Meanwhile, the other expert also believe from Rosati 2014, TBL such a method that involves students to work collaboratively by using a meaningful task which has the purpose to encourage and encourage students being a communicative learners. So that, from the statement, we can conclude that TBL focuses on the use of authentic language and on asking students to do a meaningful task using the target language. The activity of this method give the opportunity for students to work directly and collaboratively in performing the meaningful tasks, so that TBL is such a useful method to be applied in learning process in order to help students developing their core skills, especially in developing students' speaking skills. And then, for the next is characteristic of TBL method. The first characteristic of TBL method is real-world learning situation. As what explained before in the definition of TBL, this method refers to for the students to do and to perform the meaningful tasks which relate in their surrounding. So that the characteristic of this method called as the real-world learning situation, because the teacher might be give the tasks that relate to students' surrounding or students' daily life. And then for the next characteristic is focus on student center. By using this method, the students are expected to be active and to be directly involved in the learning process, so that the students can work collaboratively by discussing the tasks with their group or their peers. Since this method, the teacher will give the opportunity for students to work with their group and work with their peer in completing the tasks. And now let's move to the stages of TBL method. Alright, there are 4 stages of TBL method. The first stage is called as the pre-task. Pre-task is the initial activity to start the learning process. In this stage, the teacher brainstorming the students. The teacher usually reminds students background knowledge in order to help them remember about the topic. The teacher gives some words or praise or gives some question that will lead the students to the topic that being discussed. The important things in this stage, the teacher is not presenting. Meanwhile, the teacher try to make the students lead in the learning process and try to make the student remember about the topic. And then for the second stage of TBL method is called as the task preparation. In this step, the teacher prepare the student to complete the upcoming task given. The teacher give a clear instruction and clear direction about what they have to do in the next stage. And then for the third stage of TBL method is called as the during task. After the teacher gives some instruction or guidelines in the task preparation before, the teacher the teacher will let students to finishing the task. The teacher lets students to share or present or report their tasks that they have done in the previous stage. In during tasks, the teacher also lets students to take a note on which a word or vocabulary that students still don't understand are still unfamiliar for them. In these steps, also the teacher monitoring students on their performance in order to keep the students explore their knowledge with the task. And then for the last stage of TBL method is called as the post-task. In this stage, students are required to identify and to analyze. Each group has to analyze the other group performance. This activity not only analyze and do some identification, the teacher also do some reflection for the students. Both of teacher and students do some reflection about the language that they have been learned through completing the task or during the learning process. In this activity, the teacher also allow the student or students are allowed to share their weakness or to share their knowledge that they have been learned uh, to see in order to see their development in completing the task. All right, in here I try to combine this method in my teaching activities that I already prepared. By using this method, I choose to teach for the students in 10th grade senior high school, and the topic that I already prepared is about asking and giving opinion. And here is the learning objective that students are expected to achieve the goals in the learning process. The first learning objective is students are expected to be able to identify the purpose of asking and giving opinion. And the second learning objective is students are expected to be able to identify the expression of asking and giving opinion. And the last is students are expected to be able to present their general knowledge by using the expression of asking and giving opinion. Alright, here is the step of the implementation of TBL method in teaching activities. In the pre-task, the teachers engage students with the lesson by raising students' prior knowledge toward the topic that being discussed. In this activity, the students are given the question that will brainstorming them to the lesson. The question is expected to stimulate the students and to lead the students to the lesson. The question that will be asked for the students is about what do you think about the weather today? Do you agree that today's weather is cooler than usual? After asking about that question, the students are given a chance to share their opinion. The purpose of asking the question first before starting the lesson is in order to uh, uh, remind students background knowledge about the topic that being discussed. And then, still in the pre-task, after the teacher leads students to the material or topic that being discussed, in this stage, the teacher try to introduce about the concept of the expression of asking and giving opinion, which is the topic that I choose in this learning activity. The teacher the student are shown by the PowerPoint slide from the teacher, which is about the teacher explaining about the concept of asking and giving opinion. While explaining about the lesson, the students are given a chance to ask a question that relates to the topic. Here is the material that I provided for the students. Just a simple material because in TBL method, the students are expected to explore the text and the material so that the purpose of the material in this method is just to ensure the students know and understand about the concept of the material. All right. Asking and giving opinion is the expression which is used to ask and give an opinion about something. In general, opinion can be defined as opinion, idea, judgment, view, or the result of a person's of or group's thoughts in explaining and judging judging something. And then here also the teacher provided the expression of asking and giving opinion. The purpose of the expression of asking and giving opinion is to make the student know how to express uh, express about asking opinion and how to express in giving opinion. And then after and then while the teacher explaining about the material, the students are able or are given a chance to ask something about this they don't understand that relate to the material. And then in the task preparation, the students are given the tasks from the teacher. In this activity, the students are given a direction from the teacher about the task. In this activity, the teacher give a clear direction or clear guidelines about what the student have to do with the task. In here, the instruction is about students are asked to work in a small group that consists of 4 people. Students are shown with the picture of the issue that relate in their social life. By identifying about the picture, the students are instructed to discuss with their group about the issue given in order to make them prepare their opinion whether they agree or disagree with the issue given. While doing this activity, the students also given a time to make the statement about their opinion using the expression or asking or ask, of asking and giving opinion. In the task preparation, the students are expected to work collaboratively with their group by discussing together about the issue given. They are able to share their thought and also able to ask something that they still did not understand with the instruction given. While discussing about the issue given in this activity, the teacher's role is monitoring the students. The teacher led students to ask something about the direction that might be confusing by them, and then also the teacher helps student if the student found the difficulty in preparing the opinion. Here is the issue or the picture that I provided for my student, which is about the effect of social media in student social life. And here, after the students have some discussion in the task preparation, in during task, the teacher lets students or the students are given a chance to report their opinion about the issue given. In this activity, each of the group have to share their tasks or their statement about the issue given, and the other group have to respond by using the language and also have to take note of an unfamiliar words that they found from the other's member presentation. During this activity, if the students are difficult to share or difficult to report or present their opinion about the task given, a teacher's role is needed in this activity so that uh, the teacher's role is helping the students if the student found the difficulty if the students found a difficulty in expressing their opinion. And then in the post task, after all of the groups are already performed their tasks about the issue given, in the post task, the teacher will conclude and give a reflection for the students. In this activity, the teacher lets students to ask and share their opinion. Share their note about the words that they don't understand yet. And then both of student and teacher will discuss together and do a reflection together about language that they have been learned in the learning process. So that is all about the step-by-step of the implementation of TBL method in teaching process. And now, what are the strengths of this activity? The first strength of TBL is give the opportunity for the learners to build the interaction. In here, the students are allowed to have some discussion about the task with the other students. When they are tried to have some discussion with the other students, they will use the language spontaneously so that there are no limitation for them in interacting together during the learning process. And then, for the most important strength of TBL method used in teaching activity, this can increase students' skills, especially students' speaking skill and also students' writing skill. Why? Because in the activity, the students are expected to have some discussion about the task given. In the preparation task and in the presenting activity, the students are spontaneously discussed together using the language to communicate with the other, so that this method will help and useful to increase students' speaking skill. Meanwhile, in the task preparation, the students are give a chance to prepare their task about the issue given. In the task preparation, the students are required a time to prepare a short oral or a written paper about the task given, which is the students have to prepare about their opinion about the issue given, so that the implementation of this method, which is task-based language method, is very useful in order to improving students' skills, especially in developing students speaking skill and also students writing skill. Well, that is all about my explanation of the implementation of task-based language learning teaching method. I hope you guys can get something beneficial on my presentation. That is all for me. Thank you. Have a great day.